started selling it at a local festival about 6 years ago. I initially sold it from batches I made in my kitchen. I had a huge pepper patch that year, and I decided to test market it to see if it would sell.
Yeah.
And we had a cold, rainy festival for 3 days in Confluence, but I still sold $500 worth of mustard. I was excited.
Awesome.
So I thought, I've got a market. So I went to my lawyer, I formed an LLC, I set it all up legally, and then found that for me to make it myself was really hard because of FDA rules and regulations on producing food for sale.
Yeah.
And my product's considered an acidified food because there's vinegar in it. You have to run pH tests, and you have to submit, all kinds of forms and reports with each batch. I'm a home canner. I don't know how to do all that. So I found a local company that is what is considered a co-packer. And they produce other people's recipes under contract. So they produce my mustard for me in Punxsutawney.
Oh.
And then they warehouse some there, and I warehouse some here, and I distribute it myself locally to almost 60 stores now. And Whole Foods is my first major chain, and they only have it in their store in Pittsburgh. They picked it up locally, but they are going to take me into more distribution, hopefully real soon.
Oh, sweet.
And I hope to get in all 276 stores this year.
Sweet.
That'd be awesome.
That would be real awesome.
We'll see you when we're in San Francisco.
I might be able to buy my mustard in San Francisco later on. That would be nice.
Could you maybe talk about just the concept of the store and
The store concept came from the first year I sold my mustard after I started having it really produced. I still hand labeled every jar. I went to 6 farmers markets a week. And it was really cool. I called it market research at the farmers market. And it was neat because people come back to farmers markets. So they buy my product, they come back, they tell me what they used it for. We talk about recipes, and I loved it. But I met all kinds of cool people selling and making other really good products and great produce. And I was able to rent space here in the building, and I wanted to do an office here, and I thought I'd be crazy if I didn't do retail. We get 1.5 million visitors in our town of less than 70 people each summer. And I know that because I grew up here, and I know how it works. It's, it's a short, sweet season, but it's a sweet season. And I decided to do retail. Well, I couldn't just sell my mustard. So I decided, what else did I want to sell but all the cool stuff that all my friends were selling. So I started calling all the vendors that I'd set up and worked with at different markets, and can I buy stuff from you? Well, that's how it got started, and now I just actively look for labels that have something with a local address on it and call them up and do the same thing. Can I buy some of your stuff? And it's really a lot of fun because a lot of the companies are smaller than I am, and I'm a pretty small company. And I was a one-woman company until last year with the help of my mother as slave labor. I hired my first employee last year, Sherry, and she'll be here at noon, to work in my store. So I could go out and sell at other places. So my sales increased. And now, you have to build a company, you have to increase sales. So that's my goal this year, is to increase sales. And the coffee shop that was here before decided to move out. I'd wanted a bigger space since I moved in the building because I'm a pack rat by nature, and I could fill the building up pretty quick. And so when I first moved into these 2 rooms in mid-April, I looked at it and thought, how will I ever fill it up? And I've already for weeks been saying we don't have enough room.
Wow.
But we're adding local wine, and that's coming in a couple weeks. We got inspected by the LCB. We think we passed that okay, and they said within a couple weeks we should have our paperwork. Local cheeses, I'm picking up more cheese today in Snicksburg, so I'll have 3 local cheese makers.
Very nice.
Locally roasted coffee's new this year. Yeah, I found a couple roasters in Pittsburgh and the Strip, and 2 different ones so far, and I'm looking for more. I want to find the ultimate cup of coffee that suits me, and along the way I'm meeting all kinds of cool people.
So do you find that the concept of your store, does that bring people in, or are they new to the idea and are they
A
receptive
lot of
to
people
it?
are really into what I'm doing, but it's new to a lot of people to see this much local, because you don't find. I'm a pretty different concept to try to do all local, and like I said, I do at least 95% local and probably more than that. But a lot of stores, are struggling to try to do 5%.
How do you define local as far as mileage? Or?
Local to me is 150 miles from Ohiopyle, from here, and it's pretty standard for a 125-mile range to be local everywhere. I added 25 miles to that because Ohiopyle's so remote. It takes 25 miles to get to the nearest grocery store, so.
That's fair.
Yeah, I
Yes,
thought so
fair.
too. And